Your first novel has just been published. Have you written before?
Well, I've been writing stories for over 40 years, but it was articles and short stories. I also co-wrote a non-fiction book with my wife about our family histories. But this is the first time that I wrote a novel.
So what made you write a novel now?
The year 2020 brought many changes to my life. My wife passed away at the beginning of the year after a long illness. Then in the summer, I retired from my job and moved from the suburbs of New York to the mountains of Pennsylvania. In the meantime, the pandemic had started, so with social distancing, my social life was kind of restricted, and I had plenty of time on my hands. At the same time, I just finished reading the second novel a friend of mine had published, and it inspired me to start writing as well.
So, what is the book about?
Treachery in Tabari is the story about a few government officials of the African kingdom named Tabari. They traveled to New York City to attend the general debate of the United Nations in August of 2018. And that's where the trouble starts. Despite the protection foreign leaders get from the Secret Service, there's an assassination attempt and the protagonist in the story ends up in the hospital. The New York Police Department starts an investigation to track down the shooter. The State Department gets involved, and the FBI discovered that this is linked to espionage as well. The climax of the story happens when the protagonist, back home in Tabari, discovers the truth, and there's a confrontation with the person behind the whole intrigue.
Sounds like an exciting story. Is it based on true events?
Well, the setting of the general debate at the UN is of course real. Readers of the book will get a look behind the scenes of what happens at the United Nations when the leaders of the world get together. You will recognize the names of some of the world leaders who came to the UN in 2018. But the assassination plot is completely fictitious.
The description of the book says, "And what is the connection with North Korea?" Is the story also set in North Korea? And what is the connection?
Well, to find out what the connection to North Korea is, you will have to read the book. But besides Tabari and New York, the story takes us to a few other places. To Tokyo, for example, and to London, and also to the New Jersey shore.
Sounds like your characters are well traveled, just like yourself. Do we see a little of you in the story?
Well, I was able to use my own experience traveling, living, and working in different countries as inspiration. And everything you read about the United Nations comes from my own years of working in the UN environment for a total of 12 years. So I guess you're right.
What's next?
That's a very good question. I do have some ideas for a new book, and I have started research for my second novel. I've learned a lot about writing techniques in the process of writing the first book, so the second one should be even better than this one.
We're looking forward to that. In the meantime, where can people buy your book?
Treachery in Tabari can be ordered from Amazon websites worldwide. So that's in Australia, Brazil, Canada, Germany, France, Italy, Japan, Mexico, the Netherlands, Spain, the United Kingdom, and the United States. Oh, and I forgot to mention India. But in all those stores, it's only available in the English language.
Wonderful. Thank you, and good luck with the sales of your novel.
Thank you.